Hello folks and welcome back to Parkitect. We're here in our Dollarwood area and we're working on our next themed-ish kind of area. I thought about this a little bit and I decided that I wanted to do kind of a boardwalky kind of looking place. I don't know exactly how good it's going to be there or how well I'm going to do it, but I wanted to kind of try to set it up. So I'm going to start off with just kind of establishing where the sand and the water is going to be and then going from there. So we got our water in place, nothing big deal. And then we're going to build a boardwalk here. So you can see that we have the boardwalk going over. Parts of it are over water, parts are not. We're going to make it 3 wide. Just give us a little extra space and also just to provide a little bit more detail here eventually when we get in. So we're going to go in and get some of this stuff set up. I'm going to spend some time just getting some trees and other things placed in. And later on I'm going to get rid of a lot of these things because there's a ride that's going to go in parts of that that you may have seen in the thumbnail. So I'm just going to try to make it look semi-beachy. I mean, I know it's definitely not going to be that. And there are some things I could do to make it better. But I always do this with water rides. I can't put them in because I put the water at like an 1/8 height instead of a half height. So I just have to deal with that. So we're going to start off with our very first ride, which is going to just be a spiral slide. Mainly because it looks beachy, kind of has that feel of the beach. And then we're going to add in some new railings and some new fencing there. Get that all outfitted in. And then we're going to add on some more buildings or start our building process here with some restrooms. And then we'll get an info kiosk just because. We'll build that out. I'm not really sure quite yet where we're going with all this stuff as far as the design or how it's going to look. I just want it to kind of look a little beachy. And these colors, I'm trying to make them pop just so that they, again, it gives that beach kind of vibe to everything. I'm going to put these awnings on. I don't particularly like these awnings. I think they're kind of ugly, but they're going to work hopefully for what we need to do here. And then I'm going to have to add some lighting and other stuff eventually, but let's get some windows in there and we'll play with a little bit of forced perspective where the windows are going to get tinier as they go up, even though it's not a super tall building or anything like that. We're going to do my bench thing, just go in. These are going to be pretty industrial style benches because it's a boardwalk. It's made for people to, well, one, it would have to stand up to the weather in real life with salt and all that stuff, so it's kind of built robustly. And theoretically, depending on where you're at in the world, you might have to deal with tropical storms or nor'easters or bomb cyclones or whatever the heck there's going on. You may have lots of stuff that you need to deal with. So we're going to continue to outfit these. All of the lighting, I was going to try to outline this whole building with some lights, but I just couldn't get the look quite right where I want it yet. I'm going to spend some more time on that. But we're going to keep doing those industrial style lights. I think they look very... I think these are newer lights of the game, but they look kind of menacing a little bit, and that's kind of what I wanted. Then we're going to go in and add on another building for some food and beverages and snacks and basically souvenirs and all the things that we need to have. We're going to get all of that in there. I'm going to go with this kind of orangey style building, and I was trying to figure out which color combination I wanted, so I went with this orange and gray. And what I've started trying to do, and this is something I've seen other people do, what's his name? Ad Astro, is that his name? He's fantastic. If you haven't seen that channel, I'll link it in the description. But if you haven't seen that channel, for Parkitect content, it blows everything I've ever done in Parkitect way away. The guy is just incredible at this game. But I did want to try to just kind of base the color off of one thing, and then I can go in and fill in the details and just kind of click on that one thing, and then I can get all the stuff. So I'm going in, filling in some of this roofing, trying to change colors, change textures a little bit, just try to get everything looking roughly like it would on a beach. I don't know if I care for this little part of the structure that I built here. It adds some extra height, it adds a little bit of detail, but I just don't know if it fits quite right. But I will say that adding some borders on this building really help out. It really kind of ties everything together much better than what it would be otherwise. We're going to add some flags on the top here. I'm just playing with the heights of those, and we'll add some windows and other things just to try to, I don't know, just make it look like a real boardwalk kind of area. Also just trying to use different shapes of windows and all that. You can see that for whatever reason it kept going up on me there, and I don't know what was going on, so I just eventually got rid of it. And I'm going to put these little brick details on there. Again, they're nothing special, but they look kind of nice, I guess, and they do their thing. Now I'm going to go in and do this to try to connect all of this pathing together, and I did a terrible job with this. It's still, at the end of this video, it's still not connected properly. So I took it back. I was going to bring it over to somewhere like that. I thought it was connected, and maybe it is connected to one of the ride areas, but it's not connected to the employee path. So I need to fix that. I'll get on that eventually. This is a ride I don't use a lot, the Power Surge, but it looked very beachy to me. These type of rides I've seen at boardwalks before. I've never been on one, but I've seen them at boardwalks, so I figure why not. And every boardwalk needs some type of classic coaster, and I'm going to go with this kind of out and back style wooden coaster that's basically going to outline this whole themed area. So I was going to do something like this, but I didn't go deep enough, one, because I don't want to see the tunnels. And I also wanted to try to go all the way out to the edge of the park. So that's what I did here. We'll build that up, and then we'll go around and get the whole ride built in as so. One thing I really dislike about Parkitect is the trees. If you're above the tree, it just removes the supports, excuse me. But if you remove the tree later, it doesn't autofill under supports. It keeps it as that gap, and that drives me bananas. So again, we're just going to go with some nice little hills. We're going to go out and back here and just play with how we're going to do that. So I think we settled on something like this where it's not really super extreme, but we can get the basic parts here. And look, I found the corner thing that I was talking about last time. So I was completely wrong. Parkitect does have that. I was wrong. But we have the park coming in. I kind of like what we have so far, and I wanted to try to kind of mirror the entryway here, but decided to go with the deeper one just because I need to make a sharper inside turn to be able to get back to the station. So we're going to go in here, and basically we're going to come to back under the station, and then we'll pop up. It's just finding a spot where we can do that fits and doesn't take up too much ground or space for everything, because this is going to have to be covered up in a building as well. And I don't know what that building's going to look like quite yet. So I got this all in there, did this, and then I deleted part of the station. And one of the things in Parkitect is I can't build backwards. So once you delete part of that station or the first piece of the station, you have to go through. And the heights here are driving me crazy. I have everything properly at the proper heights, but for whatever reason, I could not get this coaster to line up the way I needed it to. So I'm going to spend a lot of time here just trying to get it at I guess it's 3.5 is what the height is here. So we'll get it in there and we'll just play with it, but it's going to take me far longer than what it should to do that. And we're going to have our first station that has an unload station and a loading station. My thought here was I could theoretically run 3 trains. I'm only going to plan on running 2, and we'll go through it right now. But I just wanted to have a secondary station. I'm not really sure why. It just, I don't know, just something I wanted to do there. So you can see, not a crazy coaster. It has high excitement, and it has decent stats overall, but it's okay for the rest of that. So we need to reroute the path here because of that employee path, and then we'll get our exit set up. And then we're going to have to make some type of building around all of that because we can't, it's just terrible. So my idea here is that we're going to have one building eventually here. We're going to put some buoys just for decoration and stuff. I really wanted bumper boats, and the buoys do work as like a wall for the bumper boats so they don't go past them, but I put the water at the wrong level, so it's not going to happen. But we're going to go in and get a beachy kind of building in here. We'll build all of that in, get the basics of it, and I need to build some type of station for this ride as well. Because the station is going to be kind of set back from the normal kind of area that we have, I need to play with all this a little bit more and see what exactly I want to do for this. I was going to have it curve in there, but it doesn't really make sense if there's going to be another building right on top there. So I'll figure that out down the road here, but we'll get all of this in. We're going to go with some roofing, and we're going to go with some brighter colors here. Again, trying to draw in that beach kind of feel. We'll get all of that in, and then we'll get the roofing on like so. And then we'll go through and get some of the border and other stuff worked out here. You can see I left the roof in the back open because I don't know where it's going to be yet. And I wanted this to, I don't know. I have some ideas of what I want to do, but I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm going to keep that to myself for now until I have a better understanding of where I want to go with this. And I need to decide what I also want to do with the space we have remaining. There's not a ton of space for the beachy kind of area, but there is enough. And we can kind of go in and figure out what we're doing with that. So that's our station. That's what we have here, and it's looking good. And that's where I'm going to leave you today. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.